I've been an investor for the last 20 to 25 years. I started off investing in property, and then I was persuaded by the gold and silver argument maybe 7, 8 years ago. And I made some terrible mistakes. I bought chunks of physical, held on to it, hoping that it would go up in price, but it came down in price. And then about 3 years ago, I came across Gold and Silver for Life. I watched Minesh's pitch, and I was persuaded by it. So I joined Gold and Silver for Life, found the videos really informative. It made sense to me as a property investor to listen to another property investor say, highlight the problems that I as a landlord was facing, and then move from that over to gold and silver investments, but a very intelligent approach to it. So I was persuaded, joined Gold and Silver for Life, but I didn't invest. I didn't actually take the step. So Minesh, having picked that up, he put together Platinum, which is now Accelerator. So I joined Accelerator last year, and with Deep's coaching, which has been spot on, really helped me to come out of that, set my accounts up, place my first few trades, encouraged me to revisit some videos and just guide me along the process. And as a result of that, I'm now starting to see the benefits of the strategy. And I'm seriously looking at, reducing my property portfolio. Some of the stuff that I learned today with Minesh, in terms of diversifying portfolios, made a lot of sense to me. And one of the main reasons why I joined Gold and Silver for Life was primarily to have that freedom to move around, to live in different parts of the world as and when I choose to, and be able to manage my investments literally with the click of the button. And the whole environment that's created with Gold and Silver for Life, it's a private environment. You're almost like a family. People are there to support you and guide you. And I really see that as the way forward, to navigate through the changes that are happening. And I feel really happy to be a part of this conversation. And I'm now starting to see the benefits. And had I taken action sooner, no doubt I would have seen benefits sooner. Yeah, I was very cautious, where I'd made some terrible investment decisions in the past, with stocks and shares, with physical purchase of gold and silver. I'm not a seasoned investor in that sense. I'm traditionally an investor in property, and my area was very, very limited. So although I was persuaded by the conversation to physically go in and risk money, and I'm not a numbers guy, so I kind of used the graphs and the charts as an excuse not to take that step. But having gone through the material and using the resources that are available, I'm no longer fazed by those things, and they're actually very, very simple to understand. It's surprising how simple they are to understand. So that encouraged me to take steps, and the more I look at it, it's probably the safest way to invest in gold and silver markets and generate premium. When people talk about it, it's hard to believe if you're coming from a traditional mindset, especially if you've got burnt. But when you actually take that leap of faith, take the actions, follow the coaching, follow the guidance, and it's really encouraging that I'm following examples that those that are coaching us, they are making themselves. It's not like I'm paying a fee for someone to give me their opinion or whatever. No, these people are actually placing the trades themselves. So they're taking a personal risk, and they're just indicating to you that that's what I'm doing. It's up to you if you want to do that. So, I think in this day and age, people need that. There are people that don't know what to do with their money. There's a lot of sharks out there that will, like selling snake oil, right? All kinds of stories and get rich quick schemes. And by and large, they don't work, and people lose their money and they lose heart. And I love the idea of managing your money yourself. Why should I trust a hedge fund manager or whoever to manage my money, when with a bit of education, some guidance and a community, you make some really powerful moves. It was a personal choice for me that when Platinum was launched, which is now Accelerator, at the time I was low on cash, and it was a real tough decision for me to put more money into gold and silver when I'd already put money and I hadn't actually made any money. But it was like, really, for me, I knew that there was something in this education and the program and the coaching. So it was, for me, a last-ditch attempt. It was like, okay, don't close the door on this conversation until you've actually given it a go. So I raised the money, joined Platinum, followed the guidance, and then picked up the phone and got in communication. Like, it was having someone like Deep accessible. You can email him, you can leave a message, he'll call you back, and he'll literally guide you through whatever difficulty you're having within the program. For me, I needed that. Maybe other people that are in Gold and Silver for Life, maybe they need that. And if there are people like that, yeah, you'll make an investment in terms of your time and money. But if you're somebody that is reluctant to trade, I would encourage you to do that, because it's like Minesh said today, unless you're in the game, unless you're in the market, you're not going to make money. You're just going to sit on the fence thinking about it, talking about it. And I've been there, and my commitment is not to go there again. So when I joined Accelerator, the whole environment was one of action. Like, if you're on the Accelerator program, you're here because you want to make money and you want to invest and trade and do these things. So the whole culture is one of, you've got a coach that's going to show you, talk you through the charts, talk you through what trades he's placing, and encourage you to place the trades and really deal with any difficulties that you have. And when you're on the call, the beauty of the calls is that any questions that you may have, someone's going to ask them, or someone may have asked them before. And even as a new caller, you're encouraged to feel free to ask questions. And no question is ever considered as a stupid or a dumb question, even if it repeats lessons, because there's always people that are joining and rejoining. Yeah, for existing Gold and Silver for Life members, I'd say, if you're somebody who really wants to increase your level of participation in this conversation, if you really want to get on the court with people who are investing on a monthly, weekly, whatever basis, and you want someone who's dedicated and has got a proven track record of generating the ROIs that Minesh speaks of, then Accelerator is the way for you to go. If you wanna, if you're doing well with Gold and Silver for Life, continue to do that. But for me, I needed that Accelerator push, and I'm glad that I took it. Of recent, yes. Before I was still a bit skeptical and I didn't quite understand what was going on. But of recent, I've started to see the picture, and my numbers are starting to correlate with the promises of the program. Absolutely, my ROI was non-existent before I joined Accelerator. Before, I was just an intimate spectator. But when I joined Accelerator, I started to make trades, and I was comfortable and confident with the guidance that I was getting. And each trade that I've made ROI. And it's consistently increased. I've never been in a position where I've panicked, or maybe in my head and my emotions when I watch the news and stuff. But the minute I come back to the weekly call, or I'm in touch with Deep, all of those fears disappear. It really trains you to have the right mindset and the right approach to your investment. Yeah. So the weekend that's been put together with Accelerator, the speakers that have been invited, phenomenal. David Morgan, who's well known within the whole gold and silver conversation. I heard about him when I read Mike Maloney's book. So he was somebody that Mike Maloney vouched for. So to be in a room just opposite a guy who is well respected within the gold and silver community was great. Darren Sherlaw, another amazing coach. in terms of business development and what have you. I first heard of him through another program, and he actually made a direct contribution to me in my existing business venture that I had a few years ago. So to see Darren there advocating or giving a talk to Gold and Silver for Life investors was great. And a lot of people here, you know, you hear their voices on the weekly calls. So it was really great to put faces to voices and to meet Minesh and Deep in person. It was really great to, you know, create that community bond within Accelerator. So that was really great. And the venues that have been chosen are reflective of the lifestyle that Gold and Silver for Life represents. You know, top venues, top restaurants, food, really gives the flavor of abundance. In the face of all the doom and gloom that people may see, you know, Gold and Silver for Life is not just advocating for something that is going to be promising for the future, but it's delivering, it's visibly delivering. So it was really great to be a part of that.